like, what the hell is that playing? You're playing the double. But welcome back, y'all. You already know, man. It's Jarrett, Chief Revenue Officer at Outside the Box Digital. I'm your host as usual. And you know I got my brother, my brethren, your favorite CEO. Sometimes it muffles like that, but you gotta catch. I got the socks on. Catch that motherfucker like Frank.
I know we got DJ Wiz, but I thought somebody was actually in the back scratching and all. I was like, Wiz throwing some mix on it. I said, we're throwing some mix on the show. That's fine, because I wasn't even expecting. I said, that's live right there. We getting a free mix on it. I love it. I love it.
YouTube. Say something. I would have came with it. You know what I'm saying? What's going on?
I thought we about to get a DJ masterclass for free out here. Who but us?
Who does that though? I does
that. You already know, y'all, but man, before we begin, y'all, you know, first of all, shout out to y'all, man, the followers, subscribers across every single platform. You already know last month was our second biggest month on YouTube, over 70,000 views, growing and glowing across every platform, thousands of downloads. We appreciate y'all, man. We are a two-man band, and we do this shit strictly for the culture. And if it's the first time listeners, More Than the Title is interviewing brothers like the one we're about to right now, people from our culture that put on, man, people that have done amazing things in their career. And it's all about giving back and learning, because we all more than a title. I don't care what you are. We all more than a title, and all of our lessons matter, and our stories effing matter. And who else is going to tell it but us? You know what I'm saying? So that's what it's about. So also, shout out to our distribution partners, the Live Podcast Network. If you want more content from Black content creators like More Than the Title, make sure y'all scan the QR code. You know what I mean? Plus, half of your subscription goes back to the content creators of your choice. So no other platforms doing it like that. First woman-owned, Black-owned podcast network in the world. Shout out to the boss lady and the entire team. You know how we do, y'all. You know what I'm saying? I'm on the road right now. I thought you was gonna come in and say something, cause over there, you what up, Nick? Nigga on mute. I'll flow with it. You know what I'm saying? With that said, let's get to it.
Let's start the show.
You know what I mean? So let's introduce this brother, man. Let's segue this, man. This brother is a pioneer of hip-hop's golden era, man. This brother burst onto the rap scene in 1988 and has toured with giants like Salt and Pepa, Queen Latifah, and Public Enemy. As the founder of the Video Mix Party, this brother has revolutionized the industry by mixing and scratching music videos live, blending classic hits with today's chart toppers. This brother has a wealth of knowledge of hip-hop, and we're honored to have this brother on the show. Let's introduce Mark Eastmond, a.k.a. DJ Wiz of the legendary group Kid and Play, y'all. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Hold on.
Ain't gonna hurt, man. Hey. Yeah, I ain't gonna front. I want to go to a pajama. We're gonna do a pajama jam.
You know, I be having to get everything ready for our guests. You know what I'm saying? We gotta make sure we on point with that. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
man. Give you a quick 3 seconds licensing.
Don't sue us. Please don't sue us.
You already know.
That happy music always get you right. You know what I'm saying?
That's the fact, man. It puts you in the right mood, man. I ain't even gonna hold you, man. But y'all, I want to say, I just want to say thank you for coming on the show, brother. You know, we definitely respect what you've done for the culture for these last couple of decades, man. And being in the music business ourselves, man, we know that it is not easy. It is not easy, man. You know what I mean? So to be in it and at the level that you were at and performing at the level that you were at, man, we just want to say congratulations, man.
Absolutely.
Congratulations, man.
I appreciate it.
Real.
Like you said, this industry, you know, we've seen it from the onset as far as hip hop and what's going on now. Like, I don't even understand how it's surviving, to be honest with you, because, you know, back in our days, we sold records and tapes and CDs, you know. We didn't have the internet. We didn't have streams. We didn't have none of that. So, you know, the money was different back then because people had to actually go to the store and cop the album, cop the cassette, and you saw that quickly, you know, as far as, you know, the whatever record companies we were signed to, like we were signed to Select Records. And, you know, you get your checks either quarterly or every, you know, I forget the period how they pay you.
What's Selected independent? Not to interrupt.
Yep.
Was it independent? Okay, cool.
Yeah, and the thing about it is most rap, like from back then, was on the independent. The majors didn't want to mess with us. The majors didn't believe, you know? So it was like labels like Select, Profile, that Run DMC were on, Rob Bass, Special Ed. Next Plateau had Salt and Pepper, Sweet Tea, and other people. They were like, and that's just up here. Tommy Boy. Tommy Boy was like, and then look at Tommy Boy. Come on, Latifah, Digital Underground, Naughty by Nature. You know, if it wasn't for the independents, where would we be right now? I mean, Sugar Hill and Joy Records were like the first two independent real rap labels back in the days that actually made the difference. You know, Flash, Treacherous 3, Spoonie G, all of these legends started on Enjoy Records. You know, and then Sugar Hill came. Yeah. You know?
Sure, but what did it? I'm curious. As you say that, bro, I'm thinking about, like you said, the way it changed from over generations, right? What if you're an independent label? What was like the initial investment that you needed to make all those CDs, make the tapes, make the albums, right? Like what kind of initial investment back then? And like they had it like that. They had 100 just to just boop.
Yo, Jarrett, let me tell you. To make, first of all, y'all don't even understand how blessed we are today.
Facts.
You could do a demo right now on your phone. You know what I'm saying? Like you could record a song on your phone.
Message.
No, serious. Like because back in the days, we had to save up that coin, you know, just to get in the studio and do like a four track cassette mixtape. You know, we had to save money. And God forbid you want to go to like a real studio, you had to come out, you know, you had to, like most of the time, you had to ask somebody to give you the money. So you go to studio and you had to buy a tape, you had to hire an engineer. Like it was a process. Just learn something done. Just one. You know?
I think when I first started, we was recording on ADATs and DATs and ADATs and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. When I first started music, I think that was the main. And when I was in Cali, because I know when we was in Cali, they were still doing reel to reel. You know what I'm saying? They were still doing reel to reel recording. So you know what I mean? You had to go through it like that. So you needed an engineer and all that for that, because the average person didn't know how to work that type of machinery. Yeah.
Right. Even that. Even I will give you this. Even the ADATs and all of that.
Yeah.
It was all of that. It was still digital.
Yeah, absolutely.
And it was easier than like 15 years earlier, because 15 years earlier we had to buy those reel to reels. You know however it was 8-track, 16-track, or 24-track, which really was the standard at that time. Either way, you was coming out your pocket. Somebody was coming out their pocket.
Somebody was coming out.
A lot of groups had finances, you know, because people didn't have money. Like we were young, man. We ain't had no money to go to the studio and for a couple hours. Like they charge you by the hour, and they charge you for the tapes. Everything costs.
Mixing it, every aspect of the creation and distribution.
Like right now, oh my God, the blessing is mind blowing. Like how the digital world, you can do whatever you want. You can shoot your own video. You can promote yourself. You can put it out yourself. Like there's no middleman anymore.
Absolutely. You're going direct to consumer, so it alleviates a lot of the middleman stuff, and you could create it. But it's a pro and a con to it, right?
I was gonna play devil's advocate.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying.
I was gonna play devil's advocate.
The pro and con to it is like now that we have so many people doing it, right? So now we have a pool, even podcasts. And look, right? So we're doing a podcast right now. There's millions of podcasts, right? What makes us successful in the podcast? 90% of the people drop out after 6 episodes. Right. But then when you start it though, how do you differentiate yourself from the other content creators? And everybody's creating content. It's the same as music. We're no different from anything. We're all content creators. Right. So differentiating yourself now that you have the resources, and any advice I give to people is that creativity. Creativity is gonna set your ass apart.
Yeah, but I gotta play devil's advocate. Not to say that
talk to me.
I love the information superhighway Wiz, but I'm gonna be honest with you. As a student of the game, because I'm from Forest Projects, you understand what I'm saying? So I'm from where hip hop is, and
yes, sir.
I gotta give you
you right.
Gotta get a hood of horn. Why the fuck can we not get the hood of horn? Makes sense.
So you know what I'm saying? Like all the all the early pioneers of hip hop. You know what I'm saying? I'm talking about from like Keith Cowboy and all them days. You know what I'm saying? They used to be in my grandmother's house. So I got a chance to kind of learn music from the ground level up with like my uncle and them, they had the records in the back.
Right.
You know what? I respect learning that way though. You know why? Because you actually learn the art of making music.
Yes.
And you can always tell the difference between somebody that's technically trained in music, the type of music they put out, and somebody that's not technically trained. You can actually hear it in the music because a person that's actually trained in music, the music is more fluent. It's more like orchestrated. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I ain't gonna lie to you. Like, I like that version better because it's a lot of tutelage that comes with that also, Wiz. You know what I'm saying? Like when you go to the studio, even though you was paying for it, the engineers used to kind of like instruct you like, nah, you're not doing it right. Kind of spit it this way, do it that way. You understand? They kind of taught you the art of making music. Now you just going to pay the music. Somebody hit the button and sit back like this.
Yeah, that's hot. That's fire. You go back home.
Right.
You go back home and shit like that.
Yeah, motherfuckers like bubblegum, chewy. And that's fire, master it, put it out right now.
Nah, I appreciate that you said that because look, and this is, you know, I hate you say devil's advocate, but you speaking of facts. This is the thing, and I don't want to sound like I'm the old school man that don't appreciate new school because I love all music. Like there's a lot of new artists and tracks that I love, but what the younger, newer generation of artists have to do, they do need to go back and study some of these songs, how they were made, because that formula will never get old. You know what I'm saying? It will never get old. It's a scientific process to the process of like an intro, build up to the verse. You understand what I'm saying? Like there's an actual process to this, and then how long the verse is.
Talk to him. Yeah,
like look, everybody talk about a hot 16. Like, yeah, it's 16. You understand what I'm saying? That's a structure. There's structure to the hit songs. If you go back and listen to where we got all of our dopest break beats and stuff, just go back and listen to James Brown. Just go listen to James Brown. Anything James Brown. Anything. There's a structure to all his songs. You know what I'm saying? And then when you start dissecting, because you know back then, some of those recordings were recorded in that stereo mode where they might have the drums just on the right side.
Yeah.
The bass line on the
panning,
left.
Panning.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Yeah, it's called panning. Yeah,
don't know nothing about that. That's why go back and listen. They'll be like, yo, what happened to the vocals? Or like, the other speaker. You know what I'm saying? Like there was a science to how people created this art. So if somebody was to actually do that now, you know, like
it's got to be in a creative way though, because in a business aspect, our attention spans back to it being so much music out there, it being so much content. So I gotta catch you right now. I might not be able to have a 15 to 20 second build up that I could have. You know what I mean? You might not have a band from TV that that might not rock today.
It might be 5 seconds, like 1, 2, 3, 4.
Yeah, exactly.
1, 2, 3, and that's it. And right into it.
Right into it. Yep.
I'm gonna be honest with you. A lot of this music don't stand up to the test of time. See, that's the key, right? That's the key. Now, if we're talking like, what do you want to make? Like when I was making music, I studied a lot of Michael Jackson, right?
Yes.
And a lot of people don't even know that. Like I studied a lot of Michael Jackson because a lot of people don't know that Michael Jackson was a big student of the game. Not only did he make the music, he would sit right next to the engineer, next to the track board and track. Like a lot of Michael Jackson songs had 100 tracks.
Crazy, yeah.
They had 100 tracks. You understand? Meaning like every single ad lib was a different track. A lot of his his voiceovers and all that. He compounded his own voice and did his own choruses, and you know what I'm saying? So I'd rather learn that way because I believe in like if you learn the proper way, you can always downgrade. But if you only learn the bottom way, you can't upgrade. You understand? So I like it that way because
Michael had Berry Gordy and he had Jones,
right?
You know what I'm saying? Quincy Jones, man.
Quincy Jones, right?
Motherfucking cheat code.
He like recorded orchestras, so that what you're saying is 100% facts.
And that's why his music. Look at what his music does now. You can have a child that's born in the last 10, 12 years and hear a Michael Jackson track and rock to it as if they was alive when Mike was still alive. Like, you understand? Like, that's the type of music that I like. It don't matter what genre. I just like timeless music. I just think that a lot of our music right now is not timeless. It's kind of like right now hits.
Yeah.
And only certain tracks kind of transcend that, where you get 6, 7 summers, 8 summers where you're like, nah, this is a banger. But it's only like one out of how many albums you got like that, where Mike will have something like, my whole album is like that. And I got 7 albums, I got 9 albums like that.
I'll make you laugh, bro. I was in the park yesterday with Case, his little friend. He's talking about what's your favorite. He was like, yeah, what's your favorite song? His favorite artist was Michael Jackson, 6 years old.
See?
And was doing the dances in the park.
See?
Really?
At 6 years old, bro.
And he wasn't even conceived when Mike.
Don't even know nothing about Michael. Don't even know what's going on, bro.
Right.
Mike has been dead longer than he's been alive.
Right.
Which is crazy when you think
about it. I wonder who put him onto. Was a case like who put him on to Michael, man? Because whoever it is, you know, you gotta clap for the people that passed that down. Because, and this is what I'm saying. You know, like people just need to go back and listen to those type of artists. Even what's his name was dope. I mean, I didn't really listen to him like personally. Barry White. Barry White was another legend, man. Like,
wait. Which Barry? The big Barry or the skinny Barry?
Woo.
Because you know what? He had an orchestra too.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So back to what you were saying, just layers, the layers.
Yeah.
And it creates a mood.
Yes.
You know, it creates a mood, and that's why, you know, Mary.
Can I make you laugh though, Wiz? You know, that wasn't lost, right? Because, and a lot of people, again, if you're not into music, into the technical aspects of music, you won't understand it. But based on how they made that music is actually based on how Dre and them made the Beats headphones. See, people don't even know that, right? If you actually take apart how Beats and all these other sound dampening headphones are made to deliver that sound, they're made in layers like that to deliver different sound at different decibels so that you hear it as like an orchestra and it drowns out. It's made almost exactly the way that they engineer music back, and the people don't even know that.
Message.
I didn't even know that.
That's a new message.
Yeah, because remember, think about it, right? So look, if we talk about mono, remember mono was just one, right? And then the introduction of stereo was there, where everything is on one track, right? So when you dump a song down, you put it into stereo mode from mono mode, right? But that was regular headphones. How do you go from stereo? Remember, the new headphones are still stereo, but how do they deliver such a dynamic sound that's different from the old stereo headphones? And that's how they do it, right? That's how they do it, because they put so much technology in there, different woofers and different into the module, so that each one can deliver a different sound, a different impact. So when you bring them all together, you get that orchestra sound. You understand what I'm saying? Yeah.
I'm gonna let you know what our next product is gonna be. Some headphones out this motherfucker. We got some more headphones in this.
I'm telling you, think about it. When like, why do you think the headphone market exploded when they did that? Right? Remember, 50 came out with the SMS headphones. You understand? Dre came out with the Beats. Ray J got the headphone. So many different headphones came out now with the Bose. Remember, Bose is synonymous for doing this. Bose been doing this for years. That's why they're one of the leading audio companies in the world, because the way that they design their woofers and stuff like that, that's how they design their speakers in their standalone. That's why they call them standalone systems, because they deliver dynamic audio like that. But guess what? That's why them shits was like $1,000 a speaker. You remember the Bose speakers? Them shits was super. That's why a lot of people didn't have them, because they was like $1,000 a speaker. But that's why, you know what I'm saying? The high end Harman Kardon, you know, those type of man.
You know it. You naming all them top brands. Listen.
Yeah, but I studied this shit. Yeah.
You know when people used to have them Bose boxes?
Yeah.
And them things sound like you turn that thing up halfway.
Absolutely.
A whole park or room.
And it was a small box to fill a whole room like that, right? Yeah.
We bring up a great point though, right? Now you see artists attaching themselves to brands. Back then it wasn't like that. Besides, like the Run DMC, Adidas, that was like the biggest mainstream example, right? Did you guys have any brand partnerships like that, or was you like, you know what I'm saying? Is there anything y'all wish should have did differently?
We ain't have no financial partnership with nobody. You know, it was good. I mean, look, people have come up to me and told me that they rocked with our first album cover because they had them black and white Nikes on. If you see the two hype, they were like, "Oh man, y'all!" And shoot, we wasn't thinking because we probably could have got a check out of that. You know what I'm saying? We was just happy to be on a daggone album cover. You know what I'm saying? Back then, nobody really knew that there was money in marketing and advertisement. You know, Russell, of course, Russell had opportunity because of Run DMC. I mean, the Run DMC broke the doors down, and
Absolutely.
not just them, also the Fat Boys when they had that Swatch deal.
Yeah,
They had to deal with Swatch, and Run DMC had Adidas. You know what I'm saying? But that was way ahead of anything ever because they were so large. You know what I'm saying? Like they were global. Them guys were global. So everybody else was trying to get to their level. You know what I'm saying? And as far as, marketing and brand attachment, we never got approached for a check. You know, we used to get a lot of free stuff. That's about it.
that's real.
Cheap marketing, that still happens to this day, man.
Yeah, that's guerrilla marketing. That's just that's part of their marketing budget. And now the attribution of that, y'all go out to a show, y'all wearing the Cortezes on the cover, right? How many sales they got off the Cortez off of sending you a $200 pair of shoes that cost them $100 to make. Now you got everybody in the neighborhood rocking them, and now they're $1 billion brand. So but what I love to see though, and shout out to Kid and Play too, I love the fact that they doing it now.
Oh yeah,
with the progressive shit. Shout out to Walt and the team. How bro did that.
And just as far as branding, I give props to Herbie, our producer, Herbie Lovebug. He also produced Salt and Pepper, Kwame. Herbie, shout out to Herbie Azo.
Legend.
Herbie's his flowers at some point for the dynasty he created. But Herbie always thought of his groups as a brand.
Yeah.
He always put them packaged to be looked and packaged a certain way. They weren't like everybody else. Every single artist he had. So because Kid and Play had the certain look, the certain style, the certain way they dressed, and the hair.
Yeah.
And they were like fun guys, like to have fun. Like all our videos, we like to have fun. We were always joking around, even if it was a hard beat, whether it was getting funky or do this my way, they having fun in the video. You understand what I'm saying? So that was their brand. That's how they got to do House Party and all this other stuff. So,
I got nostalgia for you, DJ Wiz. I got nostalgia. How about this? Look.
You know what I'm saying?
I got nostalgia for you.
Michael Benabee. Shout out to I see
You know
that brand on it. Michael Benabee he got a lot of pics of us. A lot of
man. You know what I'm saying?
That pic right there is super classic because that one didn't get a lot of pub. It's always been too hype, not too damn hype, because that was the real saying, too damn hype back in the days.
Yeah.
And then it just got shortened to too hype. But that pic, good job. Good job.
But let's talk about that because I want to go into the history too, bro. Because I heard in another interview, bro, that Herbie is the one who actually said, "Yo, you're going to be a part of the group." So just kind of before we get into that story, tell us kind of like your early influences and kind of how you even met Herbie for him to vouch for you to be in the group.
Okay. Well, the thing about it is we all grew up in the same neighborhood, East Elmhurst, Queens. Okay. And
I gotta give you one thing. Come on, I can't give you a hood. Give his hood and not give you a hood.
So a lot of people don't know that a lot of talent came out of East Elmhurst, Queens. We all lived like few blocks from each other, like it was. East Elmhurst is surrounded by LaGuardia Airport, Astoria Boulevard, used to be Shea Stadium, now Citi Field, and the BQ.
Northern Boulevard. Northern
Boulevard, closer to where Citi Field is.
That's a fact.
The thing is, we all grew up together. Kid came in his early teens. He was the new addition to the neighborhood. But Play, Herbie, myself, Ron Lawrence, if y'all know who Ron Lawrence is, Amin Ra from Two Kings in the Cypher, produced Hypnotized with D-Dot. They Ron Lawrence is another legend from our neighborhood. He used to be down in my group with Kid back in 1981. Okay, so yeah, you know Ron. If you see him and you hear him, you know Ron. Ron produced Hypnotized. Okay, he's one of the biggest records of all time. And but he's from our crew, and he used to be down with me in a group with Kid and 2 other cats from the neighborhood called the Turnout Brothers. Okay, Play and Herbie and 2 other brothers used to be in a group called the Super Lovers. We were all neighborhood rap rivals. Okay, we all grew up together. Now you see, there's a camaraderie, but like friendly competition from all of the crews back then. And these are just 2 crews. There were other crews back then in our neighborhood. You know what I'm saying? There was a group called the Cool Out Force. Before I even joined the Turnout Brothers, I was in a group called the B-Boys. Queens was doing their thing, man. You know what I'm saying? Like in the late 70s, early 80s, that's when all of this stuff happened. So Herbie and Play were in a group. Me and Kid were in a group. Okay? Now that's 81, 82. Now, the thing about Kid and Play is they were like best friends. From when Kid moved to the neighborhood, Play and Kid were like brothers, pretty much. I lived a few blocks away from them, and I'm a little younger than them too. You know how it is when you're like, even if you a year or 2 younger, you don't hang with those people. You know what I'm saying? Like that's how we was kids. So, you know, and also in school, they were like couple like years
grade or 2 above or something. Yeah.
Right. So it wasn't until later that we really got to hang. You know what I'm saying? Like we used to do our jams, park jams, and jams at the high schools. Like we used to play at Flushing High School. You know what I'm saying? Like back in 82, just doing rap joints, you know, rap parties back then. So we all knew what we could do. But after those groups broke up, Kid and Play still stayed together, and they formed their own groups. Not as Kid and Play yet, though. They were a group called Fresh Force. Back in, I don't know, Google Fresh Force. Y'all go on YouTube and find Fresh Force. They had a couple knockoff records. They did a record.
I ain't gonna front. It was a good rebrand. The Kid and Play hit. That's a damn good rebrand.
Absolutely. So Kid and Play were called Fresh Force. They did a record called All Hail the Drums. I think that might have been an original. But then they did a record called She's a Skeezer. That was a knockoff of My Adidas.
I remember that.
Yeah, Red Alert used to play all that stuff.
I like that title.
Once again, good branding, people.
Just the title alone to get me to listen. She's a skeezer. I love it. Put it on right now.
She's a skeezer instead of
My Adidas.
It was a knockoff, straight up. And then they had one more called Rock Me, which was basically off Rock Me Amadeus, the breakbeat back in the days from Falcon. So they had those singles out, and they did that for, you know, they were Fresh Force for a while before they were Kid and Play. Herbie had the opportunity to get them a record deal because, you know, Herbie had Salt and Pepper. Salt and Pepper were hot. You know, the rap thing was still new. And because Herbie was the man, Salt and Pepper's first female hip hop group to go pretty much countrywide, then worldwide, all of the record labels wanted a piece of whatever Herbie Lovewood had.
And he, just to clarify, he was the manager and the producer, right? So he made the beat. So he made Push It, all the major beats.
And Herbie was the one-stop shop. Absolutely. He was the one-stop shop. Yep. So because we were all still in East Elmhurst. We were all still together. So while Salt and Pepper was doing their thing, we were all right there. You know, we were in, you know, Kid and Play, you'll see them in the video with Salt and Pepper before they had their own single. Herbie put Kid and Play and Dana Dane in Salt and Pepper's Shake Your Thing video. You know, y'all go watch that video. You'll see them all in the video.
Kwame, I remember Dana Dane.
Yeah, Kwame.
Yeah, Kwame.
and Kid and Play. All of them. All of them were in that video. Go look at it. But you see, this is the genius of Herbie, though, to cross market his artists.
Exactly. I was just about to say that.
You know what I'm saying?
But I gotta stop you right there. I want to give Herbie his props and say he was a genius for doing that. But we got to look deeper into it because a lot of times in our culture, motherfuckers don't want to work together like that.
Yeah.
And motherfuckers don't want to be in somebody else's video and feel like, well, like, you feel like I'm hot. Why am I in their video? You understand what I'm saying? Like, it's the mindset of let's all work together as a unit, right? As a unit, like this is our area. Let's put our whole area on, because if I get hot, then I can introduce you. Then you get hot. See, that's what we're missing nowadays. If you look at hip hop and really like the big movements of hip hop, that's actually what they did, man. Like Cash Money is a perfect example of that. No Limit is a perfect example. You know what I'm saying? That whole We the Best movement, rough. But I mean, but Cash Money. But when I'm talking like Cash Money, you know how many people was on the Cash Money roster, bro? Like, do you know how many people was on the No Limit roster? Like, if you actually look at the artists that they dropped, and then the collabos that they did, and then the groups that they formed, that's exactly how they did it. And again, you got to be on the right mindset of team. The team got to win. See, that's what we missing nowadays. Everybody want to be the man. Nobody want to fucking work together no more, Wiz. Nobody. Yeah.
No, that is a real message. And you see, this is the thing, though.
Yeah.
Because where did that start? Because we always had the mentality from our era because it was called Herbie's Machine. Like all his artists were signed to his management, Idol Makers. We all loved being together and doing stuff together. In the Getting Funky video, Sweet T's in that video. In the Rolling with Kid and Play video, Salt's in that video. Like we always cross-brand. We were family. You know what I'm saying? We're family. So I don't even understand where this happened. You know, people's egos get that. When we were hungry then.
Now, but it's the perception. The perception happened, Wiz. Like you got to understand, back in the day, the perception was cruise, right?
Yeah, that's it. That was
But watch though, because nobody was talking individualism. It was my team. Right. But as artists started to get on, and that whole boss, I'm a boss, I'm the one. You understand? I'm just saying though, you got to think when that whole like I'm the one mentality started, then a lot of people started. They're paying attention, like, oh, I can't be a part of the unit because I got to be the one. When again, we talked about, right? You're new to the game, you're not studying the game, right? Remember how Pac got put on. Pac was like, yo, I'll carry crates, man. I just want to be a part, man. I'll set up I'll do whatever need to be done to help me get in position. I'll rock with y'all, and then eventually I could brand off. You understand? Like, that's the problem, man. It was the perception that hip hop started to personify. It wasn't the crew no more. It was the individual. It was I'm the man. And then people was like, I gotta be the man. I can't work with nobody else. And I think honestly, we've lost a lot musically because of that. Be honest with you.
I agree with you. And thanks for even bringing up Pac. I mean, Kid and Play had the privilege of touring with Public Enemy for a couple of years.
Right.
And Pac toured with us before Pac was Pac.
Right. Exactly. Right.
Pac was just and I like to speak about Digital Underground and Tupac in his early years because people really don't know what Pac was.
Right.
Pac was a regular dude, man. He wasn't this thug. Like he talked about thug life, but something changed in Pac, like to get him there. I know he had his trials. Brother got shot, brother went to jail. A couple things happened, but Pac was one of the nicest, most loyal. That's the best word I can say. He was so loyal and loved everybody. Fun, smiled a lot, just great personality. You know what I'm saying? And like you said, he did what he had to do to be down. You know what I'm saying? And that's mentality from the late 80s, early 90s, and I will give it up to early 2000s, because you even said Rough Riders, like No Limit. It's somewhere in the 2000s, it stopped. Somewhere it stopped, and everybody just wanted to be a boss.
That's why it's no more power labels no more. Like I said, if you go back into the days, you can even throw Rockefeller into that and look at their roster. I mean, back in the day, it was so dope to be a part of the crew, right? The crew of Rockefeller, the crew of Rough Riders, the crew of No Limit, Cash Money, right? The Dungeon Family. Remember what they was doing in the South? That's how whole Outkast, Goody Marble, you understand? Killer Mike, all of them come from the Dungeon Family. So it was so dope to be a part of a crew when Death Row started. Remember, Death Row was the crew of Death Row, right?
Listen, and even let's go back. Like we had Herbie, we had the Juice Crew.
Juice
We
Crew.
had,
Right, see?
we had the native
Boogie
tongues.
Right.
We had the native tongues. We had everybody was together. You know, understand what I'm saying?
DITC, digging in the crates
Digging in
crew,
the
like
crates.
you know what I'm saying?
Crew.
Like
Fat Joe was
crew.
down with that.
Right,
You know what I'm
crew.
saying?
The word crew is in the name, right?
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. So I mean, somewhere later in the mid 2000s, things just changed. You know, and you know what though? Because it was the mid. When did MySpace happen? It was the mid 2000s, right?
Yeah, around
Yeah, man,
early
yeah,
2000s.
early
Yeah, like
mid,
early
yeah.
It was
mid
the
2000s.
internet, man. The
Yeah.
internet is what did it, man. I'm
Direct
telling
to
you.
consumer got their ass. The chance to eliminate the middleman.
Nah, but
I gotta
again,
be the man.
nah, but again, like you know, you let's say you eliminate the middleman, right?
Right.
You eliminate the middleman, but business wise, it still doesn't work out the way it worked out for these other labels, right?
Right.
When you eliminate the middleman, so Jarrett comes out now, he's like, all right, Mass, I'm coming out, I'm hot. I just signed a $2 million deal. Boom. But Mass, you signed a $2 million deal, but who's next to you? Nobody.
Right.
Yeah.
When they were signing deals, they was like, no, I just got Arista, or I just got Def Jam to give my label $100 million for the label. So now you gonna get on, and 8 other dudes is gonna get on that. You understand what I'm saying?
There still was a guy. There still was somebody. Look at Bad Boy, somebody like that, right?
No,
Biggie is the cash cow. Look at the WME. Caitlyn is the cash
No,
cow.
no,
Look
I'm
at
not-
you know what
I'm-
I'm saying. There's
no, no.
somebody.
I'm not saying that I'm not saying that there shouldn't be a front runner, whoever's hot in the moment, right?
Yeah.
I'm not saying that, but what I'm saying is if you look at the machine, I'm talking about the actual machine, right? So we talk about talent versus the machine, right? You could be super talented and take 10 years to make it, or you could be mediocre and have a machine behind you and become the world's biggest artist in 2 years. You see, you understand what I'm saying?
That goes right back to what KRS-One said about the business part.
The business.
Not even the entertainment part, the business part. Absolutely. I agree.
Yeah. So I ain't gonna fry. I gotta ask you. I do want to get back into the story, but I gotta ask you a real question, bro. Because my favorite motherfucking thing ever the Kid and Play ever did, bro, was the battle. Who do you think won that motherfucking battle in House Party? That's real shit.
I mean, you know, it was always set up for Kid to win. You know what I'm saying?
You play body.
It was scripted. It was scripted. It was scripted.
Well,
nah,
it was a movie.
How.
It was like too late. I blew it up. You know, right there. That was that was the first of 2 killer punchlines.
Right.
You know, he said, "Step to the stage. Too late. I blew it up."
Yeah.
And then he was like, "Oh, that's why I played with like, oh,
yeah."
And then he said, "You didn't play. You just got played out." That was it.
But you don't think Uncle Play trying to tuck your ass in. What? Boy, my boy Play was talking that shit.
Nah, it's the fact, man.
Yeah. Listen, when they do their shows, still to this day, that always gives people hype.
Yeah.
You know, people they just be out there with their phones like it's a real battle still. You know, we already know the words, but it's just fun. That energy, that fun energy to see them going at it with each other. It takes you back to that nostalgic era of that scene. You know what I'm saying? Like,
it's real.
You think about it. I mean, come on. House Party came out in 1990, man. It's 2004, dude. Talking almost 35 years.
Crazy, yeah.
Battle. You know, that's crazy.
When we talk about a timeless classic, this is what once again, what we're talking about as a timeless classic. You could put on House Party even till today, and everybody could watch it and still laugh. It still has moments in it of just pure music. Then you got pure comedy. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just, and then you got look. We don't even talk about the family dynamic of the movie, right? You didn't even understand the family dynamic message of the father. Father trying to give kids some discipline and just trying to raise him right as a father, a black man. We didn't even understand that shit when we was looking at it as kids, right? You understand? It took till we became adults and we became fathers and we look at it again like, oh shit, now I understand why Kid Pops was so, he was the realest. Why he was like, nah, you're gonna be in here at a certain time and you're gonna dress a certain, you understand what I'm saying? So that movie has so many, like, I believe,
little gems in there.
Special gems for the culture that I don't even think they make movies like that anymore that depict us, our culture. because it really wasn't a negative movie also, right? It wasn't a negative movie, right? It was a fun movie,
Right.
but it also showed a lot of like character. They don't even make movies for us like that right now. Like I challenge you to say, give me another dope family, you know, other than like a Medea, you know what I'm saying? Like, right, I'm just saying, give me another one. Right. But I'm just saying, but give me another one. And if that came out in 1990 and this is 2024, do the math, right?
4 years.
Right. So give me another movie in that time frame, you know, other than like the Medea series that showed us in that kind of positive light of, and I can challenge you. And if you can't think of one like this, then that's the message.
And
right
the second one had crazy gems too. The second one when they went to college was crazy. The joint was crazy. But also I always wondered too, bro, because like I said, I love the battle. That's one of my favorite joints, right? But it was one part in that song that anything you can do, I can do better. Anything you can do. They made a big ass fucking Gatorade campaign around that, but they never used Kid and Play's voice. You don't remember that shit? That big ass campaign. Anything you can do, I can do better. It was a Gatorade campaign, and it was like sound like a white artist. And
well, that makes sense. Look, stealing from the culture. That makes sense.
No, but I always wanted that shit because I was the first person I ever heard say that shit, and it was a viral campaign. I wonder if they stole that. Did y'all get rid? Like I always wondered that from a business perspective, bro.
Well, you know, there's an old song where Kid and Play got that from.
Oh, so they sampled that. Okay, got it.
It's not even a sample.
Yeah,
but they kind of just took the phrase.
Got it.
I don't remember the artist, but it's like really old. Like might be the 50s or the 40s where this song is. It used to be like, anything you can do, I can do better. Yeah. I can do anything better than you. No, you can't. Yes, I can. No,
wait, didn't they use that in Annie too?
There you go.
I just they use that in Annie. Did Annie have like almost that same jingle? Use that too, right? Yeah.
So,
got you. Right.
So we just and that's how we did. You know what?
Yeah.
That's just an example of how we used to do routines back in the days. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm talking about from the Grandmaster Flash and Cold Coast Brothers. That's how we used to get our routines. Or the Force MCs before they was the Force MDs. You know, we could catch song melodies and create rap routines out of them. Same thing.
Yeah.
Same thing, man. Lucky this one was just in a movie. You know what I'm saying? Like
shit. And speaking of that too, like because we super competitive. How did you differentiate yourself back in the day? Right, there's so many major DJs. How did you separate yourself? Like, was a style that was one thing that made you very different from other DJs at that time?
And this is the thing. Back then, DJing wasn't what it was. Like DJing changed. I'd say right around the time Kid and Play came out. Or like, or a year or two before that, you know, that's when Philly and Jersey started making their noise with Jazzy Jeff and DJ Cheese. All of these special DJs creating new types of scratches and cuts. Back then, DJs just had to be on time. You know what I'm saying? The beat, you had to just be on time, do some scratches here and there. You know, back in the days when I was a DJ, because dude, I've been DJing since the late 70s. Right. So everybody wanted to be Grandmaster Flash, period. Like that was the prototype. Everybody wanted to do what Flash did. And what did Flash do? Flash kept the beat going from the little sections of breaks where the beat was a couple of bars long and just get it to the next one so his rappers could rap. So Melly Mel could say his rhyme, so Raheem could say his rhyme, Cowboy could say his rhyme. So that was the goal. If you could do that, you was in. You know what I'm saying? So I was that dude. I was like, dude, I'm gonna be just like this dude. You know, I never considered myself Grandmaster because Grandmaster Flash was the icon at that time. So I was like, I was Grand Wizard. My full name back then was Grand Wizard M.E., which is my initials, Mark Eastmond. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So later on, it got chopped down to just DJ Wiz. That was my name. You know, we just took the big, and that was a thing back then. Everybody had this big, spectacular name. You know, Grandmaster Melly Mel, Grandmaster Cass, or Cool Keith Cowboy. You know what I'm saying? Everybody, you can't just have one little word. But that became hip later.
Brother, had to be a sentence.
Powerful. You had to sound powerful. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You had these big names, you know, or you know, or the double name, like Keithy Keith, you know what I'm saying? Like that type of stuff. Or, you know, Melly Mel. Like everybody had some sort of specialty with their name to make them just sound big as life. You know what I'm saying?
Brandon.
So my whole thing as far as DJ Wiz, just I was always like one of the best cats in the neighborhood, you know, growing up. That's why Herbie chose me to be Kid and Play's DJ, even though we were you know, rival crews back in the early 80s. He trusted me. You know, he knew I would be good with them to get the job done. So that's really how that happened. You know, if it wasn't for Herbie, I might not have been with him, to be honest.
It's fire, man.
I think it was a transition from once again, like I think what happened with the DJs is the DJs went through the same transitionary phase of being the support to actually being the artist to being the artist. You see what I'm saying? Back in the days, the DJ, you know, the DJ was dope, but it was about the artist. It was about the artist, right? But slowly but surely, as the DJ started to get more and more recognition and more accolades, now the DJ is realizing, wow, I'm just as big as the artist also. And I think that's where it started to change, right? Because then a lot of DJs became producers, right? So which is an easy transition because you're doing music anyway. You just learn the engineering side of music. Now you become the producer. Now you're becoming more prevalent in the music making process. You're more prevalent in the song itself, not just the guy spinning the record. And then, I think it just, springboarded from there, where now a lot of people is like now if we go to a party, there's no artist. Who you going for? The DJ.
Right.
If you don't like the DJ, even if you want to go to the party, if you think the DJ's trash, you're not going.
Right. And this is the thing. You see, there was the first origins. There were no rappers. It was always the DJ.
Right.
You know, you think about it. It was Cool Herc.
Yeah.
That was the flyer.
Yeah.
And then it became Cool Herc and the Herculoids.
Right.
Then it was Grandmaster Flash.
Right.
Out front, Furious 5 underneath him. Charlie Chase, Tony Tone.
Yeah.
Cold Crush Brothers.
Yeah.
DJ was always number one. DJ was always out front. And that's the way it was in Queens too. Because in Queens, you know, we had the mobile DJs out here. One of my mentors, the best friends, my man DJ Vern, he was part of a crew out here called King Charles. It was just DJs. You know, they went around all the city with their big Bertha earthquake speakers blowing down neighborhoods. Just the DJs. And that's what it was back then. You know, you've heard about Grandmaster Flowers from Brooklyn, Master D from Brooklyn, DJ Hollywood. You understand? Like, it's always been the DJ out front. It changed somewhere in the mid 90s, I think, where it got more focused on just the rapper.
Right.
You know, because it was always Jam Master J, Run DMC. Like, it's always the DJ always was the focal point. You know what I'm saying?
How'd you say that? I'd have loved to have been like somebody who just playing the beats and somebody just say, "Hey, I'm just gonna rhyme on this thing." like imagine that motherfucker. You be the first person. Like, God damn, that's all right.
But you think about it, like that was the essence of hip hop. That's what really made hip. Because the DJ would just be playing them breaks, and like I said, everybody want to be like Flash. You just keep them breaks going, and you get one dope MC to come set the top. Man, the energy was crazy because not anybody could just grab a mic and rock the party lyrically. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
that was a gift. You know, that's why people like Hollywood were so dope. You know, that's why that's kind of like how Kid Capri got his style. You understand? Like the DJ that knew how to excite the crowd. You know, they're a hot commodity. You know, and that's somebody doing both. But if you got a DJ that's just steadily rocking the crowd with that hot music, if you got one more, or God forbid you just got one, like you got a crew, you really straight. You know, you really straight. But forget about it, man. That gifted MC got sought after. You know, think about people like Busy B. You know, like there was Love Bug Starsky, Busy B, Party Rockers. You know what I'm saying? Like them people, like they get people on the floor.
But I'm curious. Now we're talking. Like, what was your first introduction to it? I could imagine, like, you know what I'm saying, being in that era, right? What was your first introduction to hip hop? What was that feeling like, bro? When you first heard the shit, you was like, "What the hell is this?"
They was rapping in the park, man. Like they was jamming. Well, we say jamming back then. Mm-hmm. Crews like my boy Vern and King Charles. I lived right across the street from 127 Park, and we used to have different mobile DJs every week. You know, from King Charles, the Disco Twins, Infinity Machine, New Sounds. Like it was just like a rotation, and other crews would come and get on their stuff. You know what I mean? Like and the park jams. You know, back then you had to have a permit to play in the park. You know what I'm saying? Like you couldn't play in the park, the cops come shut you down. So if you had a permit, oh man, them parties would go till like pretty late at night. You know what I'm saying? And they was just rocking them break beats, and that's when people were doing the freak and the freak. Yeah, man. That's why. That's how they did it in 2024. Yeah,
call something different now.
Let me tell you, man. The freak, I saw that as a little kid. You know, I learned a lot of things in the park jams, man. The freak was an interesting dance.
I can't imagine with the freak. I just see the Don't Be a Menace. Look at them freaks getting busy on the floor. Remember that show, Don't Be a Menace?
Listen. Man.
That's all I see in my head right now.
Yeah, it was a special time, and you know, we'll never have that again because of technology. There was no technology back then. Everything was just right there in that moment. There was no sharing of stuff worldwide. Like people came, they did whatever was fun, and it was right there at that moment and special for that particular moment in time, wherever it was. In my case, it was 127 Park, and there was a lot of special moments in that park, man. A lot.
Right.
That's crazy that we you know, Queens and the Bronx. Yeah. Our parks are similar because the park in Forest is 123 Park. Mm-hmm. So that's crazy that they're very, very similar. And 123 Park is actually like, you know, our famous park where everybody used to come and jam out. And even to this day, they do the basketball tournaments and Old Timers Day and 123 Park. So it's funny that you say that the numbers. You see what I'm saying? Like it's funny that. Let me ask you a question though, Wiz. We talked about, you know, the crews and stuff like that, but you know, I want to know, like, from your household when you were young, right? Because something had to introduce you to music itself, right? Like, did your mom play? You know, like back in my house, like my grandmother had the records. Like I'm telling, like, do not touch those goddamn records, right? So she used to play a lot of music all the time, you know, especially on Sundays, right? You know, Soul Food Sunday, right? You know, they cleaning up or they cooking. So did your family like how did you actually get introduced to music itself? Was it through your mom or your pop playing music or something like that?
You right on the money with that. Yeah. So it was like my whole house was into buying records and playing records, you know, not really my mom.
Okay.
My dad. Yeah. My dad and my dad had a very broad repertoire palette of music. He would buy from Johnny Cash to Engelbert Humperdinck, Johnny Mathis.
That was interesting. One day, I don't know who that was. He said something.
James Brown, and these are all major artists. Like all of them. Every name I just named to you, super large. Like they were on TV type large.
Right.
Okay. So, and those were all different varieties of music. I named them, and then I have my sisters. I'm the youngest of 6 kids, and I'm the only boy. I have 5 older sisters.
Wow.
And they all loved music and bought albums and played music. Like that's what girls did, you know, oh, play this song and they dance or whatever, you know. So I got to see all of that, man. And I got to absorb all of that. And then, you know, just being on the block, You know how people would put the speaker outside the window and just play music? Just being on the block, people have, you know, little jam sessions right in front of the house or a cookout. You know, people get together, little dinner, you playing them songs. I got exposed to all of those hits from the early 70s and whatever records was from the 60s because my parents had them. So
Gotcha.
I would play and hear all of that stuff, man. I mean, I remember the first time I heard Scorpio. Oh my God, Scorpio was such a major hit back in the 70s. You heard that song, and people be dancing.
Yeah.
No DJ, they dance to the whole record, you know, because it's instrumental. First of all, it's an instrumental record. So records like that, records like Bra from Simon D, you know, I mean, Bra.
But wasn't they made like that, Wiz? I mean, I remember a lot of the vinyls that my grandmothers used to have had an A side and a B side, right? Wasn't the A side like the song and the B side was the instrumental or something like that? Okay.
Sometimes you had two songs.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but sometimes they would. You know who did that a lot with the instrumentals? James Brown.
Okay.
James Brown was good at giving you like what is it? Hot Pants Part 1, Hot Pants Part 2.
Right.
45. And it's continued. You know, or even what's Kool and the Gang.
Right.
They had Hollywood Swinging and Jungle Boogie and Funky Stuff. All of these songs, like Kid, man, or Earth, Wind and Fire, Ohio Players. What? Ohio Players, man. I remember Fire. That record Fire was such a big record when I was a kid. I remember me and my nieces and nephews, we did like a little show, dancing and putting on costumes to that stuff, man. So all of my family playing those hits back then. And I used to play the whole album too. You know, we would go through the whole album. So I knew every song on the album.
No technology. You got to go through the album.
No.
That's real talk, though.
No, you can skip because remember the record player, the vinyl had lines in it.
Yeah, but Chadeo, listen.
No, but it was like, what either outside or we got to hear it.
Oh, yeah, that's true. Right.
And also, what you said, you don't want to be touching that vinyl, man. You know how you know.
Wiz, I'm gonna keep it 100. Let me keep it 100. You know, a couple of times I actually bumped. You know, that shit scratch.
You was that dude in the
movie. Listen, I was bad when I was young. I ain't gonna hold you. You tell me don't touch it. That shit was like burning a hole. I got to. And I'm telling you, a couple times I bump it and that needle scratch him. You did, and my grandmother looked at me like, boy, if you scratch my record.
You know, it's so funny you talk about, like, I teach an actual DJing class. It's called DJ 101.
Okay.
For the Queens Library. Shout out to Ralph McDaniels for making that happen. Ralph McDaniels.
Ralph McDaniels.
So Ralph McDaniels is the coordinator of hip hop for the entire borough of Queens.
Right.
So he teaches production classes and DJ classes and all of that. He hires instructors like me. So I was just telling some of the students that came about how I had to unlearn all of those rules. Like, I was like, yo, if you touched the record when you was little, you might have got an ass whipping.
I'm telling you.
Like Grandmaster Flash.
Real quick.
Yo. Damn! And it's real because you weren't supposed to touch it, the record or the needle. You weren't supposed to touch none of that.
Definitely don't touch that needle.
What?
Definitely don't touch that needle.
To become a DJ, like how Flash did, what? We had to unlearn all of that. Yeah. Like you touching and you going like this on the vinyl, like, and then don't even start like how the real turntablists came and started doing tricks and all that stuff. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You had to unlearn all the rules.
Yeah. But now that you say that, it makes me wonder if he did that shit by mistake and said, "Oh shit."
No,
I'm just saying, inspiration. You never know what inspiration.
You know what I'm saying? How you know?
Well, somebody might have bumped it and that shit skipped and did a double, and he was like, "Oh, I like that."
Theodore said that. Theodore said that's how he learned how to scratch. It was actually an accident.
Yeah.
What? Oh,
he grabbed it and was like, "Oh, what was that?"
Yeah.
Yeah, that was Theodore's how he invented the scratch.
That's crazy.
Yeah,
man. You know, I gotta ask you something too, man, because we ask all our guests this, bro.
Yeah.
And you've had first of all, you're hip hop, you're like a hip hop historian, bro. Like, you know, every group, like, I love that shit, bro, and I love it, man.
Absolutely.
So what was your mama I made it moment in your career, bro? What was the one moment when you looked up and was like, yo, we did it when we was from the block, man. We effing did it.
I had a couple of those, man. You know, like it. Well, you know what? I think the first time I felt like that was when we played at the Apollo. Believe it or not, we played at the Apollo, and the crowd was feeling it. You know, like that was like. Oh,
that was before mainstream, or like kind of buzzing.
Well, this is before. This is before we put out the album.
Okay.
You know, and you know, back in the day,
it's still the Apollo. Apollo. Again, but that Apollo was like the Garden before
right.
the Garden was the Garden. Like the Apollo, right?
Yeah. You kill it as an unknown artist. That's even crazier. That's
right.
Like, yo, you that guy.
Because you can't just walk into the Apollo like, yo, let me perform.
Like, so there were two Apollo moments. The first one we performed, it was like an award show. It was called the Urban Teen Music Awards.
Okay.
And all of our idols and our peers were on there. So Pepa were there, Kumo D, Dougie, all like we were just all there. I think Biz and Cool V might have been there, but they were giving out awards, and I think we got an award that night for like best new group or whatever. But that was a moment. But then when we did Showtime at the Apollo, that moment was dope too, because that was like anytime we got to do TV back then, because remember, we weren't on TV like that back then. You know what I mean? TV was special. You know, we didn't have all of these outlets that we got now. We couldn't go live. You know, like everything, like if you were gonna be on TV, you had to put the word out. Yo, don't forget to watch me on this, that, like, come on, man.
Yo.
You know what I'm saying? Go tell everybody I'm gonna be on TV.
Right. It was no flyers. Niggas wasn't putting flyers on cars and all that back then.
So those moments like that, it's like they just kept coming. Like the Apollo was probably the first, and then you know, just playing on stage. Like the first time we were on tour, we went on tour with Keith Sweat and Salt and Pepper. That was our first tour. Okay,
that's a fire show. That's a fire show right there.
Yeah, I mean, and
shit.
And that was when Keith Sweat was Keith Sweat.
What?
He was a gangster though.
I'm just saying though, you know, Keith Sweat, nigga, he go on stage and get 50 panties thrown at him a night. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I'm saying.
You gotta have security in front of Keith Sweat, B.
That's right. And he's gonna grind and go, you know, like he gonna work for more. Like in the meanwhile, he's flying. He's flying.
That's a fact. That's a fact.
Listen. So our album is not even out yet. We had last night we had Do This My Way and we had Getting Funky. Those were the only 3 songs we had out at that time. Rolling with Kid and Played In wasn't out yet, and our album wasn't out.
Right.
So we would do snippets of those opening. So even just doing that, like, because you know, if we play in a big arena, you know, 15,000 people, 20,000 people, that's a Mama I Made It moment right there too. You know what I'm saying? So it just like it was just like elevating. But I would say the Apollo was the first. You know, when we did the Apollo, or if we played what was another dope club back in New York back then?
You ever did the Cotton Club or anything like that?
Oh yeah, we did all that. Oh, you know what we played? That was another Mama I Made It moment. The Red Parrot. We played at this club called the Red. Oh my God!
I never heard of that one.
Yeah,
Red Parrot.
Listen,
that was in New York.
Red Parrot was one of the biggest clubs ever in New York City. Like Manger Club. Yeah, I mean, I know y'all heard of Bentley's. Y'all heard of Studio 54.
Yeah, for sure.
Y'all heard of
Disco Fever.
All of it. What's the other club? Latin Quarters.
Yeah,
like, all of them clubs. Like, yeah, when we played at the Red Parrot, man, that was like the club in the city for everybody. Like not really just hip hop, like everybody. Like I'm talking about like BLS crossover type. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
When we played that club, Because you know, back then the dress code was a little bit more strict. You know, people had to come ready to party. Like they weren't just letting everybody. When we played that club, that was probably my mama. I made it before the Apollo.
Crazy.
Yeah, man. It just kept elevating. You know, it was Red Parrot, and then we even played. I think we even played at Studio 54 when it.
I'm looking at it now. It looked like a big discotheque club. You know,
it was humongous, dude.
Yeah, looking at it now, it looked like it had an elevated stage, like an elevated stage and all that. Yeah, it looked like. Was it on 57th Street? Is looking like the address was 57th
on the west side.
On the west side, right? Okay, that's the one. Yeah, I'm looking at it now. Yeah,
that club is legendary. Legendary. Red Alert used to be up in there playing his. You know, like it was a big deal if you got in that club.
Right.
That's great. And we got one of the bros asking too. Definitely had the cartoon show. Yes. I definitely want to holler at you about the. I went about the cartoon show.
Hold up.
Talk to me.
Now, I keep saying like the mama I made it moment kept climbing. Right, man, the cartoon, bro. The cartoon and the comic. See, I'm a geek. I'm like nerds. I'm into the sci-fi. I'm into like cartoons, all of that. We got the cartoon and we got the Marvel comic. I'm still bugging over that. You know what I'm saying?
That's crazy, bro.
We've been immortalized in.
Come on, man. We gonna fucking made me, bro.
Immortalized. Now, like, look. I might not have all of the DJ championship accolades and all of that stuff, but look, I'm the first DJ in a Marvel comic and in a damn Saturday morning cartoon.
Message. Let's
Hold on. Yeah, that's gonna be a clip, and I gotta be in it. I gotta be in the clip. Say that again.
Can you say it one more time?
Say it.
I was off camera for that. We gotta say that again.
Shit. Listen.
Wait. Soon as I heard him say it, I was coming back. I was like, God,
hated it.
I gotta be in it.
And I have no problem.
Bring it back.
Look,
bring it back.
I might not have all of the DJ championships and all of that title stuff, but nobody can take this away from me. I am the first DJ in a cartoon, Saturday morning NBC cartoon.
That's a fact.
In a Marvel comic.
Yeah, boy. Hold on. Gotta get the school bell. Core period is in session to you motherfuckers out there. Listen, you can't top that.
Fire, man.
First of all, yeah, being on a cartoon. I don't mean to cut you off, but I just want to say, being again, like for kids, man. Do you know what cartoons are to kids, bro?
Yes.
So when we see a motherfucker in a cartoon, you like a superhero. Then they get put in a comic.
Yes,
I remember the Kid and Play cartoon. That was one of my favorite. It was that cartoon. I don't know if I was born in '88. I don't know if I caught the reruns, but it was your cartoon, and it was I remember the Michael Jordan, the Wayne Gretzky, and the Bo Jackson cartoon.
That was a cartoon. Even Hammer had a cartoon.
So Hammer's cartoon was hilarious. Hammer's cartoon was hilarious. He had the pants on. He had the little afro with the part in it that go like he had the glasses on like mine. That shit was hilarious, bro.
Listen, it's all on YouTube. Just go right on YouTube and watch it, man. Listen, I think all of our episodes are on YouTube, and I think all of Hammer's is as well. I tell you like this, like you said, anything because I'm that nerd. Geek comic book cartoon dude. You know, I still watch cartoons. I don't give a damn.
Yeah, me too.
My whole thing, I could have never imagined this as young DJ Wiz, young Wizard ME, as they used to call me, that I would have that opportunity later. You understand what I'm saying? So I'm just grateful that I have my place in history with that cartoon and that comic book.
That's real.
Yeah, man. I love it.
I gotta ask the business side because I love the business side, bro. How did the business work at that? Like, cause you know, we do music, right?
Mhm.
So when you do a song, you know, the producer gets 50%, you get your writer's fee and all that. Where you getting
50%? God damn. 50% to the producer?
Producer gets a lot.
As a writer.
Not 50%.
It's writing music. Producer gets money for producing the music.
They're not getting 50 off the rip. I've always been told 50 off the rip. I've always researched 50 off the rip, bro.
You negotiate that. I'm not.
I've always read. With
I'm not giving up
50%
to a producer.
I hated the 50. Shit, you telling me? I want no damn 50, motherfucker. No, but that's real. Like, so, like, how did that work? Like, were you on the actual records? Were you getting royalties? Like, how did
as far as the recordings and stuff, I only got royalties if I produced something. So, got it. And that's how it was, because Herbie was the one who got the producer. So Herbie was the one that gives the opportunities for you to earn your money. He was like, "Hey, produce a song. You know, I'll give you some points. That's it." You know what I'm saying? So on the first album, I only produced one song. That was my song, the song about me. It's called "Damn That DJ, the Wizard M.E." And Kid and Play rapped about me, but I produced that beat. I got royalties for that. And that was my first taste of a check from royalties in production. I produced a couple more on the next two albums. You know, Herbie was a little busier, so he gave us a little bit more freedom to bring, you know, tracks to him. You know what I'm saying? That's fine. Yeah,
but I can get your follow-up then, Wiz. Let me ask you, because as a rapper, I love studio sessions. I love the creation of the music. I love the process. So I'm pretty sure you was in the studio with them. You had some crazy sessions. What was one session or one song that was fucking crazy that you didn't expect? Y'all chilling, and then it came out to be something spectacular. Yeah, you know what I mean? Like, what, you got any of those, bro?
You know what? What song is that? I would say, damn, something that just kind of manifested into something incredible.
Because in certain songs, like as musicians, you just know, that
is going to
10 minutes that it just goes right, and it just happens so organically, and that's what made it special. Was it one of those that you remember?
I think that. Let's see. Actually, you know what? It was a song that I felt was going to be like, but it didn't become the big hit that I thought it was. Like I'm taking it backwards. And that would be a song on our first album, and that was the song called "Do the Kid and Play Kickstep."
Okay.
And Herbie was making this song, and I thought this song was produced so dope. You know, Herbie chopped up some James Brown stuff, and it just had this energy, man. And we never really performed this song much, but I remember when we performed it here in New York one time. Oh man, it was incredible. I'm like, why didn't we do this as a single? You know, like that was one song I wish could have been pushed to the front, because they're just doing the kickstep the whole time. You know what I'm saying? Like if you go back to the Too Hype album, just go listen to that song. Like Herbie produced the hell out of that song. I really thought that would have been it.
But that's a real music story though, because
that's the business of music. But that goes to the business of music, right? Back in the day, you really wasn't picking your singles, right? You would create the album, create the demo, bring it to the board. They would listen to it and then say, okay, we like this, this, and this, and then they would pick your singles for you. That's the marketing and all that. That was the business side of music back then, you know.
Herbie had a little bit more power though. Like Herbie, and this is the benefit Herbie had having hits from Salt and Pepa and other artists. The record labels want to listen to him because he has a track record. You know, it wasn't like he was just Joe Blow, you know, with a new single trying to prove himself. He had platinum selling Salt and Pepa right over here, and it's like, hey, I'm the dude that produced them. Hello, you know, you're gonna listen to me. You know, I kind of know something about this, and you know, kudos to Fred Mineo, the president and owner of Select Records back then. He was a student. You know what I'm saying? Like he was a student. He wasn't trying to really dictate what was going on back then. And of course, Kid and Play had, you know, input to Herbie, what they felt would rock. So, you know, that first album, which many people say is our best album, did have a lot of hits. I mean, we started with Last Night. And that's the thing. You see, Last Night, Do This My Way, Getting Funky. I don't know if y'all know this, but back in the days, you didn't just get an album deal. You know, you had to prove yourself. Single, single, single. You know, and then they got to make it.
And the reason why, not to cut you, the reason why is because the investment it took to put up the album, the CDs. We have to test it out, see if it works, and then we'll put a bigger investment in when we see the proof of concept.
Let's see if you get some traction on these dollars. And radio, you know what I'm saying? And that's another thing. Radio was scarce too. We ain't have a 24-hour rap station back then. You know what I'm saying? We played certain times of the day back then. We ain't have Hot 97. We ain't have Power 105. These stations didn't exist back then. So we want to see where we're getting love, pretty much, and with what songs we're getting love. You know, so they had already proven themselves. Last Night came out in 87. Do This My Way and Getting Funky came out in 88. And then the album came out later in 88. And then the lead single from that was Rolling with Kid and Play. You know? And that was like, from that point, that was it. That was it. Man. Yeah, I mean, and you know, like Rolling, of course, you know what I'm saying? Because Rolling was so different. Like, I guess that would be the example you were asking for, Chadeo. So, my bad. That would be the example because, you know, Herbie was daring. You know, Herbie, he put go-go with hip-hop before anybody. You know? He did it Rolling with Kid and Play and also on Shake Your Thing with Salt and Pepper. You know? Like, Shake Your Thing was before Rolling. You know? Because in Shake Your Thing, that video, Kid and Play had their introduction to the world.
The cameo.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Exactly. When they were doing the kick step with Salt and Pepper in the video. You know what I'm saying? So, and that was the first time people got to see the high top fade and just both of these groups. You know, people like, oh, yo, who are those two guys? You know?
Yeah. Branding, differentiation.
And the thing was in it. May was in it. You know, that's what I'm saying. That cross branding. And it was something new. Go, and then Salt and Pepper were new because they had that look. You know, that's when they dyed their hair blonde and had them big earrings, and they were wearing their own clothes. You know, the Salt and Pepper T-shirt and hat.
Yeah.
Branding, like you said, branding. So, hey, you know, it was
he definitely was ahead of his time. If you think about what he did and the way he went about doing things, he definitely was somebody that had the vision that could say, yo, I know what this is gonna become, and let me help usher us into it, you know.
But do y'all think he's gotten his just due? I don't see him celebrated. like that, bro.
Absolutely not. No, the Herbie story got to be told. Yeah, it's definitely got to be told.
I've never even seen a documentary, bro.
Yeah,
it's been discussed. Hopefully, it'll get done. You know, I've been talking to his brother about it. You know, his little brother Stevie O might.
Shout to them, man.
Yeah, I mean,
but again, that's the media, though. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know how it is, Wiz, man. Like,
right.
It, you know, that's politics. That's the politics of music.
About this with the hip hop 50, like behind the scenes.
Exactly.
I just said, listen, I didn't really participate. I didn't even get invited to nothing. You know, I'm like, damn, you know, like nobody. But this is why I say, you know, sometimes it's the powers that be that really don't know what the hell they doing. You know what I'm saying? I had a phone call with Ed Lover about this. I'm like, he's like, yo, I ain't getting no invite. Like, I'm like, yo, neither did I. And then I saw Drez post something on IG Live. He said, I didn't get invited to nothing. I'm like, damn, like somebody's dropping the ball. You understand what I'm saying? Like you give these people power to do these things and you leaving people out. Yeah. Y'all don't know the people.
I'm going where you going. I'm going where you going, cuzzo. I'm going where you go because I'm gonna challenge us as the community, right? Why aren't we getting together and doing our own shit outside of them? Even if it has to be a fucking block party at Crotona Park, whatever it is, where we just be like, yo, this is the date. This is
they do. Remember, they do the parties in Crotona. They do.
But where it's inclusive, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, they do it, but somebody's still going to be left out.
Well, here's the thing. I think that it should have just been more of like a festival than just like an event. I think that
Okay, I can get with
you
that.
know, you understand, like
That was
how do you cram 50 years of hip hop into a day? Like that's just insulting to even say some shit like that. Like
That
you
was
even
real.
talk, you understand? Like, what do you
That was
even
real.
talk? Of course, you're gonna forget people because you just don't have the time. Think about what you just said about Yankee Stadium, about Run DMC didn't come on till 1 in the
1 in
morning.
the morning.
Right. So again, you know, I think it should have been more like a festival. Like it should have been like at least a
Like
weekend.
hip hop week. Hip
Yeah,
hop
like
week.
or at least a weekend from Friday to Sunday.
Yeah.
You know, Friday this many
Right.
artists. Saturday we coming back this many artists in this
Or
type
the
of thing.
eras, 80s, 90s,
Yeah,
2000.
exactly.
Oh, some
And I
crazy
think
shit.
now you cooking, right? I think it should have been done that way so that you can almost ensure that you don't leave people out, right? Like eras of hip hop. So if you're gonna do 50 years of hip hop, then you can do that. You can say, yo, the first day is gonna be the pioneer day of hip hop. We talking the first 15 years of hip hop. Only these artists can get recognized for their contributions in this time, right? And then you do the next phase, and then the last day can be what the hot new current artists and stuff.
Exactly.
But to put a current artist on and not put on a pioneer that actually made it possible for that artist to even be able to do that is the biggest slap in the face ever. Absolutely, it's disgusting.
It's disrespectful, and that's what I was saying. Like, I didn't physically go to Yankee Stadium. I know they was live streaming it, so I was watching live stream, and I'm like, wait a minute, they got the Sugar Hill Gang, Millie Mel, and Kaz and performing like opening.
I didn't even see them. I got there at 5. I didn't see them.
That's what I'm saying. Like that's mind blowing to me.
Crazy.
Mind blowing. I'm like, these are the guys who created this.
Right.
How you gonna put them on?
And I can let me give you the business answer. Me being the on the business side, right? So watch this, and my cousin's gonna tell you. So when we started to do music, me and him, the thing we used to argue, Wiz. I used to be like, yo, I love you musically. You're dope, but you don't understand the business side of music. You don't understand that the business side of music is like 90% music. You're too focused on the artist side. You're not looking at the business. So that Yankee Stadium thing was, we got to sell tickets. We got to do this to fill this stadium. We got to do this to generate some type of revenue to justify us being in one of the world's most famous stadiums that anybody can't just walk in. You understand what I'm saying? So they had to do something to get people to get in that stadium. I still think they could have done it in a way that was just more creative, right? And made, because there are a lot of hip hop aficionados that would have came to every single day. No ifs, ands, or buts about it. But that definitely was a business decision. That had nothing to do with acknowledging the origins of hip hop and telling the story of hip hop, the beginning, the intro, right? Warming the people up into like a song, right? When we talked about creating and composing a song, that's a perfect example, right? They failed to compose the melody of what hip hop should have been to tell it for the 50 years of hip hop.
But also, but just to play that, but branding wise, if they had a flyer, they could have put Nas name in little letters, and he still would have sold and put many asses he could have possibly in them seats. And they could have put a Melly Mel, they could have put Cool Herc on the top. What would have changed? They still would have sold out.
But why have one flyer in this day and age?
You know what I'm saying?
Why have one flyer?
No, of course they get content.
How do you cram 50 years of hip hop even on a double-sided flyer? How do you even do that? You run out of space. The fucking font would have to be 0.4.
But Wiz, what would have you wanted to see though, bro? Like, what would have you know what I'm saying? What would have justified?
Like those guys, I would have liked to have seen them just later get their respect in front of a bigger crowd. That's all I'm saying. You know, I think they deserve. I think they earned that. You understand what I'm saying? Like if I grew up listening to these guys, and the foundation of hip hop evolved from that. They deserve to be seen by a bigger audience, not just a couple hundred people. And I just feel they've earned that. And you know, they could have did.
You're not gonna get no argument from me, man.
Nah, but it's investment though. It would have been dope. Like you said, I love the festival idea. I would have loved to see like a Woodstock.
That's a dope idea.
Like a Woodstock, a Hoodstock, and you
They
just from
can
the whole
still
story.
do that. They can still do that going forward because I mean, look, we're still in the 50th year right now.
Facts.
We're still in it. They can start 51.
But watch this, Wiz. Now let's really get down and deep into it. What about the guys that were on the show? And again, we don't know the inner workings, but why didn't they say something, or why didn't they publicly say, "Nah, we're not doing this unless it's done this way"? How about that? So when you put
that's a damn good point.
Right. When you put on the Fat Joes and the Nas's and all that, okay, y'all dope. But why when y'all was given that opportunity, one, you wasn't like, yo, hold on, but I didn't see so-and-so on the fly, or when is so-and-so, he's not, let me bring him out, or I'm not performing unless, why wasn't that? And again, I don't care about backdoor conversations. I'm talking about bringing it to the public to let it be known this is what we're talking about, so that collectively, so that collectively we could unify as the crew of hip hop. This is what I'm talking about.
That's real. You're right.
With you. I mean, didn't Snoop bring out Hollywood?
Yeah. First of all,
he got the memo. He got the memo. Okay. Now, if more people thought like that, they should have had Mel, Master G, all of them. Like, they all should have had their moment. Because, come on, man. Could you imagine if they had sang Rapper's Delight at 11 o'clock?
Yeah.
How that crowd would have went. Everybody knows that song, man. Yeah. Everybody. I don't care how old you are. Somebody has heard, even if your ass is 15, you've heard Hip Hop, Hit It, Hit. Come on, man. They don't deserve to go on in front of everybody and sing that song for everybody, even if it's just one verse. You know what I'm saying?
Any of those, like, come on, bro.
So that's what I'm saying. That's what
talk about it.
So and again,
right? There's not enough that advocate. You're right.
You got to advocate for that, man. And
give me the platform. I'll be like, no, they go on in front of everybody. You know, but you're right.
But
Cuzzo.
I was gonna say just real quick. But one thing I would implore the older generation for us to do is to also collab, bro. I would love, like, we were just with Mel like 2-3 weeks ago. We were literally just with Mel. So shout out to Mel. We was just with him. And what we was talking about, yo, bro, I would love to walk through the block. We want to go through 123 Park. I want to see you do the message. I know the words. I want to do the message with you. What would that look like? You know what I'm saying? What would that look like to have the younger generation? Like how do we embrace this? So I think we need to collab and create that type of content in order to tell the story of the history, because a lot of us don't know that shit, bro.
That's the whole reason why you need people to speak it and tell the history.
Absolutely.
And let people know the real truth. And I'm still learning every day. I've been here a long time, but I have these conversations with my brothers, and I learn more and more every day. I saw Raheem from the Furious 5 post something a couple days ago on IG, and I'm like, my head was blown what he said. I forgot exactly what he said, but he put some history out. I'm like, I never knew that. Like, he was just talking about how this is what he said. He used to sing before he was rapping. He was singing with Christopher Williams or something like that, and I'm like, what? You go on his timeline and see that, and I'm like, are you kidding me? Because they was both from the Bronx, and he helped Christopher Williams develop his style of how to sing.
Crazy.
This is what I'm saying. Like, we got to get
that's what I'm saying. But you don't know those stories. Be clear. Like a lot of these artists that came up, once again, worked together, helped each other out, gave each other equipment. It was more of a team effort back in the day to help each other get on than it is now. You know what I mean? But you'll never hear those stories unless we make the some type of event or we allow the culture to develop the art for them to be able to come out and express these stories, and not only express it, but we accept it and let them know we want more of it. See, that's the key. If we have an event and it's not successful, game over.
Right.
We got to embrace it, and we got to make it successful to say, no, we want more of this. Yeah, the good stuff is good, but we don't want to forget about the origins. That, one of my proudest moments in hip hop, I'm going to be honest, like one of my absolute proudest moments in hip hop as a culture was just the conversation into the implementation of the old school rappers pension. Like I felt like, holy shit, it took y'all how long to fucking decide to do this shit, bro? Like it took y'all how long? Like, come on. Like, again, I'm not being funny, but like, when is enough money enough, man? How do you come and eat off a culture and eat off a system and then turn around and be friends? And because you see these people at events and you dap them up and hug, and they struggling, they hurting, and you making millions, hundreds of millions off of something they created and they starving? How?
You're right.
You know what I'm saying? So that's one of my proudest moments for us as a culture, man. When they even started that conversation about the rappers pension and trying to implement that was like, finally, man, like we gotta stop that individualism mindset, man. And we gotta remember that this shit is a culture. It's a culture. And in order to develop the culture and move the culture forward, we can't just shit on the pioneers that made what we're doing possible.
Right.
Listen to him. You can learn something.
Damn, man. Like
from the pension to the healthcare.
The healthcare, man.
Healthcare, man. You're absolutely right. A.k.a. is teaching about hip hop and healthcare together now.
Okay.
From the Cold Crush Brothers. But people, business. You talking about the industry. We have it now. I don't know if everybody even knows that it's available, but all of these artists, who was I talking to about? I think it was Grandmaster D that was telling me about this when it came into formation. And he was saying that all of the artists from our era, it's like automatically we in. I forgot whatever the criteria was for the artist to apply for pension and the healthcare. But I mean, I remember when it was an issue and obviously it still is an issue because, we got people still passing away. Like Brother Marquise from 2 Live Crew just passed yesterday or the day before. Black Rob was in the hospital. You know what I'm saying? I mean, and before that he was homeless. Like, this should not be happening. It should not be happening. Come on, like you said, people got millions and all this. Come on, man. These guys had hits, like big hits. They should be. I hope they got their royalties. That could be a thing too. You know what I'm saying? We don't even know. That's
a major message.
That conversation.
Major message, man.
I'm just that's what I'm saying. Like, one of our biggest messages that we do is, just so you know, man, for our show, and be clear, like, we don't care. We unapologetic about this. Is impact over metrics, man. It's impact over metrics. We do this shit for the culture. That's why we don't do clickbait. That's why we don't care who you sleeping with. And you understand who you had it for. We don't give a fuck about nothing. That don't move our culture forward, man. What moves our culture forward is understanding the process of what success looks like, right? From the business aspect, from the family aspect, from the support aspect. You understand what I'm saying? What it looks like to not gatekeep, to spread the information to help the culture move forward. Because if we didn't have these pioneers that did it, if we didn't have, somebody had to start, right? Somebody had to be
somebody had to bet on themselves.
You understand? Somebody had to be the first one to say, I'm not going to work. I'm going to grab this mic. Somebody had to be the first one to put the DJ in. Somebody had to be the first. So I'm like, how do you, understand? How do you just look yourself in the mirror knowing that you are, and I'm not talking regular success. I'm talking like super success, where this shit is like, bro, for that last car you bought could have saved 3 people's lives. Cut this shit out. You understand what I'm saying? That last fucking chain you bought could have saved 2-3 people's lives, bro. You understand? We talking like the shit, the money that y'all throwing away at just throwing parties. Parties, the fucking parties y'all throw, that shit could change somebody's lives that's not looking for much, but just to have a decent life and survive, bro. I don't think that's too much to ask for them to have, have, endured what they endured to pave the way for you to be able to, do what you do today at the scale you're doing it. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying, man. Like,
it's a heart thing, though. People gotta have that mentality. Like what you saying, it's a heart thing. You obviously have the heart to do that. I definitely do. That was my problem. I'm one of them cats that try to bring the whole hood with me because I want everybody to eat. You know what I'm saying? And that might have worked to my detriment in the past. You know what I'm saying? Because I want everybody to live good. I'm a firm believer in treat people how you want to be treated. You know what I'm saying? I want everybody to live good. I'm saying? Like that's just always how I've been. So I mean, look, we already know that ain't the world. Everybody ain't like that. Everybody's like, oh, me, him, F everybody else. You know, like, no new friends, whatever. You know, like you already know this is how it is. Unfortunately, it's very selfish world, man. People are selfish, man. It's gotten more selfish and more egotistical. Everybody loves themselves so much. It's just out of control now, man.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, it's terrible.
Yeah, man. But shit, speaking of that, bro, I would love to know too, man. What's your relationship with the brothers now, with the group?
Are we good?
Everything's still tight. You know, shit had life be life and stuff like that. You know, we got kids and shit.
Listen, we're all in different states. I'm in Brooklyn. Kid is in LA. Kid been in LA. He's like he went to LA and just never came back. and Play lives in the South. So it's like they still touring. I might do a show here and there with them. They have another DJ that goes on the road with them, DJ Bro Rap from North Carolina. Shout out Bro Rap, doing your thing with the guys.
Love. We're
good. I'm actually doing a show with them in like 2 weeks, I think, in Philly. But yeah, we good. We good, man. Those are my brothers. I'm gonna see them in 2 weeks.
Love to hear that, man. I love that.
Yeah.
You know, I love to hear that shit, man. Because it's family, man. Y'all family, which I did.
We grew up together. Like we grew up together. You know.
I mean, I understand what you're saying, Wiz, but the reason my cousin is saying that is because, you know, growing up together is cool. I got a lot of dudes I grew up 20, 30 years that I done cut off. I'm just keeping it 100 with you. And I'm talking like we done went through the fire together, the fire. So that's why he's asking you that, because a lot of, you know, when you grow up, evolution happens, right? And people's interests change and their priorities change. And guess what? Also, money, right? Money changes a lot of people, man. Money changes a lot of people, man. And they start acting real motherfucking finicky when they start getting a couple dollars. And not only the money, the fame, the people who know who you are now and screaming your name, and you know, you get that little taste of celebrityism. It changes people, you know, and it's supposed to change you, but you know, not in a way that, you know, should be detrimental.
Not
but
the person who you are.
Yeah, man. But
not the core.
But maybe that's who you was at the core anyway.
Message. True.
Because you know, we say that all the time. Like I'm you know, I'm you know, I am who I am. Broke, rich. You gonna get, this is me. This is right. This guy right here. You understand what I'm saying? Worth $1, 100 million, $1 billion, right here. You're gonna get the same guy, because that shit doesn't matter to me the way it matters to other people. You understand what I'm saying? Yes, I understand it's used as a resource to live good and provide for your family, but it should never change your core, you know, person. But it does, man. It changes you. You know what I'm saying? Listen,
we've seen how many crews and groups from our era have broke up. We've seen it, you know, and I hate it. I hate when that happens. You know, we always want to see our heroes as they were now. You know, and we don't have that for a lot of groups. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just unfortunate that people change because of business. You know, it's terrible. It's terrible. I really, it's like when we all hungry together, we all sacrifice together. But when you're not hungry no more and everything's just kind of happening and you got that floor, that's when people start getting like,
on point. Yeah, that's real, man. But I love to hear that y'all are together for the culture, man. Like once again, man, we're honored to have you on the platform, bro. We're honored to hear the stories and hear what it is, bro. We would love to be a resource to any of the older artists or anything like that. We just want to hear the stories, man. That's what this is about.
Yes, sir.
Because that somebody said, bro, that Dr. Knowles came in. He's gonna come back on the show, bro. He said, if we don't tell, if history is gonna become his story, you know what I mean? If we're not careful, you know what I mean? His story is gonna be told, bro. Like they're gonna create their own narratives. We need to tell our stories from our perspective, man. What happened to you guys? What you guys did with Legendary, and shit. I know it shaped my life, bro. I used to watch.
That shit changed the culture, bro. That shit changed a lot of people's lives, bro.
Nick talking about I smell what's, you know what I'm saying? In kindergarten, I was on that.
That's what I'm trying to tell you, bro. Like that shit changed an entire. Anybody that was young back in the day, Now
Yes,
I smell like that shit changed the culture.
House Party
bro.
and
Like,
Last
that shit-
Dragon
that's
were the
the-
two. Last Dragon and House Party, bro. If it wasn't for them two fucking movies.
Listen, shout out to Timac because I be on the road with Timac doing these comic shows. Like we go to, he'll be sitting here, I'll be sitting here, I'll be signing issues of our comic if people got them, and he signs copies of Last Dragon, selling pictures and all that. So that's an icon, like you said. Timac is an icon.
Yeah, man.
The culture, and you know, you talk about I smell. I gotta give Full Force their love and their shout. They don't get recognized.
Full Force get hype.
Yo, that shit, I love them. Listen, I'm gonna be honest with you, right?
Boy, bow-legged.
Listen, the funny shit, right? Like, it had to be in that time, in that era that worked, right? Because for them to do the Jerry curls and the crop top shirt now, niggas be like,
them niggas like they were 30 in high school. Them niggas was like, this.
That's a fact. If I see a big swollen nigga with a crop top shirt or something,
hey yo,
yo, what are you doing, man? What are you doing? Those niggas we got weasel.
Yo, and let me tell you, bow-legged Luke is hysterical. Like even in real life, he's just a clown, man.
Yeah, man.
Play tricks on you. Bow-legged Lou used to come up behind people and put stickers on their backs. He said, Wiz loves bow-legged Lou. And on my back, like they'd be like, "Yo, what's that on your back?" And then I'd be like, "That nigga got me again."
hell no, to the no.
I'm telling you right now, bow-legged Lou, if I ever meet you in person, don't you ever think about doing no crazy shit like that. Hell no, man.
Your fucking ass.
Love that guy, bro. I love that guy.
But see, Wiz, this is what I'm saying, bro. Like now, bro, we look at the laughter. That is pure joy. That is pure. Like you can't beat that type of shit. Like that's what I'm talking about creating something so timeless that 30 years later you can still laugh as if you just watched it for the first time. Like, I mean, a lot of that shit was like the sketch comedy, like motherfuckers getting drunk, you ringing the doorbell and leaving the motherfucker on his door, and you closing the screen door behind it. It's like, yo, what? Who created this shit? Like,
that was funny.
Yeah,
that was a funny scene too.
That's what I'm saying, right? So, you know, even the whole like the Martin joint, right? The Martin joint with like with the bad breath and the little car where he like, I'm the DJ. How gonna give me a ride? This is my shit. He like, yo, come on, man. Meet me. I got the honey. Meet me at the spot.
Yeah, we all know. We all got a bro like that. Everybody got a bro like that.
I'm going through the DJ. Like, that's what I'm saying. But like, that's what I'm talking about like creating something that's so timeless that, you know, our kids are gonna look at it and laugh and be like, nah, this shit is hilarious. Like, who created this? And it still be a timeless classic, man. And I think we need to get back to, as a culture, once again, with so many messages. Look, even with that, look at the message, bro. Look at the message, right? In today's era, and I get deep with this shit because like now I'm like an adult and I really look at shit way differently, right? Look at the message. In today's era, when somebody get drunk or somebody's making a fool of themselves, everybody got their phone out. Nobody's trying to help them, right? They got their phone out and they clowning them and shit like that. But look what they did. They made sure he got home. You see, see what they did? We a crew. You fucked up, but I'm gonna make sure you get home safe. Like, do you see the message in that? Like, we didn't even realize that was the message. Like, we partied together, but I'm gonna make sure that you get home safe. It was in a funny way, but your ass we made sure your ass got home safe. That's what I'm talking about. Like, it's so many gems that we overlook because, you know, mentally we just wasn't on that type of, because we were kids looking at it at that time. We didn't even understand the messages that were being projected through that movie that we look at now. Like, nah, this shit was the real.
I ain't gonna lie, bro. If you could make the plug with Timac, I ain't gonna hold you, bro. What that brother did, how many motherfuckers enrolled into karate because of his ass? What he did for a whole industry. I got a brown belt because of his ass.
I ain't gonna hold you. I was a yellow belt with the white tips.
You feel me? You know what it go. Come on. So what that did for the entire
Who didn't want the Bruce Leroy glow?
Come on, bro, with the show nothing. Come on, man. We got it, yo. I would love to. I don't give a fuck.
That's a fact.
Anything.
I got a question for you though. Where's the or you know, just because I'm thinking about it. We was talking about technology and stuff. So you got the records behind you. I know you're a classical trained DJ, but so now I'm not even gonna ask you how many records you own because that's gonna be crazy. But have you now, even though you have the vinyl, have you now made the switch over to like the Serato, and have you made the switch, or do you actually still DJ from the vinyl?
Oh no, I definitely switched over a long time ago, and that's. I mean, listen.
He said, "Nah, I can't catalog all these. Who's gonna carry all these fucking crates?"
And this is the thing, because there's so much music, so many decades of music, and I'm gonna tell you, 9/11 messed up everything because we used to carry crates on planes, equipment on planes. Everything was on the plane. Like I used to fly with no fear. You know, oh, I got 4 crates, you know, or 4 cases and my turntables. After 9/11, all of that was out the window.
Right.
You understand? So it was like everything had to be either tour bus or, you know, how you gonna get the gig with all your records?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So technology had to change. You know, we went to CDs. That was an interesting jump. Everybody didn't want to do CDs, and then it went to the MP3 and Serato and all the other programs.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm full blown out the laptop. I travel with my laptop. That's it. You know, great. Now listen.
Yeah.
Hopefully, I'll get a venue that has 2 turntables and a mixer. And I bring my Serato control vinyl.
Right, the vinyl, right.
Back in the days, you know, but I really can't see doing vinyl outside of New York. Like, there's a hotel I do in New York. They do vinyl night sometimes, you know, and that's all they do. They do vinyl. So they ask me to play. I'll come up there with a crate or 2, and that's it.
Right.
You know? No computer, nothing, because it's a vinyl vibe going on up there. And I don't mind doing that. Yeah. You know, but I'm traveling far with vinyl.
Because it's a you know, we talk about efficiency, right? Wiz, we talk about efficiency, right? Like one of the last vinyl parties that I can remember, I watched the DJ, right? So it was a DJ and he always had an assistant. Right? And the assistant used to put like the yellow stickies, like the yellow Post-it notes. He would put them on the vinyls to kind of label what vinyl it was. Because other than that, you had to kind of go through each joint, pull one out. No, that's not it. Look for, like, you know how long and time consuming that takes for you to look for what album you want, then pull it out and set it up and get it ready. But like, that's very exhausting. Like, you would need a team with the amount of music that's out now. Like just what's behind you, you know, you look 12, 15, 16, you would need an entire team to catalog and organize that and set it up for, like, okay, you're going to play this crate first, then this crate. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it would be crazy. Hey. Oh, my God.
The YouTube audience wants to know is...
we got some crazy groupie stories.
Or drama story. You saw anybody
got some crazy groupie
actually,
stories.
but I do want to get into the NWA story. I heard you was there when when they got arrested for us. But if you got any drama stories, stuff like that, cool.
So, all right. Well, groupie stuff.
Hold on. Let me put out the disclaimer. This was years ago. Anybody in DJ's world? Let me do my announcer voice. This was in a world where this was years ago. These stories do not reflect on his current situation. You know what I'm saying? Please be clear that he loves you. Whatever your name is, he loves you. You know what I'm saying? This is before your time. You know what I'm saying? Please do not hold this against DJ Will. You know?
I'll just say this. Back then, it was really fun being on the road and meeting people in different cities because everything was brand new. You know, everybody was just happy to be there, including us. Yeah. You know, if we pulled into a city and we're playing in a city where it was a Public Enemy tour, and we toured with P, we toured NWA, wherever we went, it was new. Like, This was our first time there. And there wasn't a whole bunch of like tours before us. There just weren't. You know, you might have had Fresh, you might have Run DMC, but that's it. You ain't have no other tours before us. So everything was new. And because of that, we got a lot of love from everybody. Oh, girls, parents, everybody. Everybody was just excited to say, hey, we went to see Public Enemy. We went to see Kid and Play. We went to see Heavy D and the Boys. We went to see Digital Underground. We went to see Kwame, all of these groups, Latifah. All of this was new. People seeing this for the first time.
Yeah.
So the love was crazy. You know, we used to have to do in-store record appearances.
Yeah.
You know, like the meet and greets, they call it. You know, meet and greets.
I remember Virgin Records was big for the meet and greets.
Yeah.
When Virgin had their stores, the meet and greets was crazy at Virgin.
Because you sell a lot of merchandise and media when you have those meet and greets, you know, because people, they want to buy it, they want you to sign it onto pictures, all of that. That was a big deal. So usually promoters would work that out. They'd be like, look, I need them to do meet and greet, this, that, because it'll also help them sell tickets too.
Yep.
People meet and greet, oh, I'm going to the concert now.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So we met a lot of cool people, every city, and we did them all. Like, it was part of the job. You know, you had to go out there and mingle with the people because there was no way to meet the people back then.
Yeah.
You know, you had to do that. And as far as oh man, that NWA thing, that was crazy because Kid and Play got arrested that night actually. Yeah, Kid and Play got arrested too. And this, God, what city was that? I can't even remember what city it was. It was somewhere in the Midwest. But the bottom line is there was no cursing allowed in the venue. The police were there waiting to arrest whoever did something lewd. So Kid and Play got arrested because they did a lewd act on the stage. Like there was a segment in the show where we would play slow jams and we would talk about what we would do if we was in a party with a slow jam, how we would treat a girl, right?
Okay.
So I played a slow jam for Kid. He got up there and said he'd do this and he'd do some kind of dance or whatever. And then I played it for Play. Play did his dance and Play pulled his pants down. And he only had
my dog take it to the extreme.
Oh, we don't play that.
Play had his underwear, just his underwear, and then he'd like hump on the floor like. Done.
I know Kid was like, this thing, oh, you gotta do too much.
Wait, right? Just
he won that battle. Okay.
Pause right there, right? We talk about changing the culture. Wiz, do you remember what movie actually copied that whole scene and that whole thing? And it was actually in a movie, and they made it a big scene and copied that exact situation. Do you remember what movie? I'm gonna put you on it. When I say it to you, you're gonna be like, "Oh shit, you're right." You ready?
Yeah.
CB4, MC Gusto, The Sweat from My Balls. Remember when they was at the venue, the song was called Sweat from My Balls, right? Yes, Sweat from My Balls. So the cops were there. You better not perform Sweat from My Balls. You bet, right? So MC Gusto on stage, right? And everybody looking in the crowd is like, the crowd is hype, but not where they want them to be. So they all looking at each other. And the cops are sitting there like, you better not do it, right? And they was like, MC Gusto was played by, I think, Chris Rock.
Yeah, definitely.
Chris Rock, right?
Yeah.
Early Chris Rock. He had the Jerry curls. And not only did they perform it, but I think they dropped balloon like balls from the ceiling, and the crowd was like, "You got the sweat from my balls," right? In Georgia, and they got arrested. But where do you think that was? Again, we talking about impact on the culture. Yeah, that CB4 was what, 10, 15 years later, big hit. But that's a direct reflection of hip hop culture, of what happened, and they did that, and the cops arrested them. The same shit. I remember.
I'm black, y'all, and I'm black, y'all, and I'm blacker than black, and
I'm trying to tell you, man. And again, like, it's crazy that again, like when you create look, the impact of culture, the art of music, the art of storytelling. Again, when you create something that's so timeless, man, people always want to take from it and put their own little spin on it, man. You know, you know what, Wiz, man? You know, if you've never been like, and I'm pretty sure you have, but if you've never been proud before, man, like an interview like this where you actually sit back and start really taking a nostalgia, you know, moment and thinking about the things that you have actually been a part of that a lot of people have only heard about, bro. You know, I think that should make you a little emotional. Like, damn, I lived a good life, man. Like, I you know what I'm saying? Like, I've been a part of something very fucking special. Facts, man. I've been a part of something very special, man. For real, man.
I received that 100 because
Yeah, man.
I know I've listen, like I said, from those moments, all of them got arrested. Kid Play got arrested, Digital Underground got arrested, NWA got arrested. Like everybody, it was waiting. You know, it's funny because Digital Underground, they jumped into the crowd trying to get away. They jumped in like they do, and what they did, it was another lewd act on the stage. You know, because the song "Sex Packets" that they do on the albums, they had these blow up dolls that they would hump on the floor. They came out with the doll, and then they start singing "Sex Packets, $1 for 2," and then they just put them on the floor, and they actually just start humping the blow up dolls on the floor. And they pulled their pants down too. Both. They did both.
You had to do a lot to sell records back then.
Right.
No, I'm just saying, like, this is all brand new. This is all first time seeing hip hop lewdness. Okay. Right. Outside of Two Live Crew. I'm just saying, you know, like who knew that they was gonna do that? Like it was Humpty, Money B, and Tupac humping on the blow up dolls. Yeah. And so the cops was waiting right after that.
Again,
history, yo.
In that time, you know, like you said, brand new, nobody expects it. You understand what I'm saying? Like you do that shit now, everybody reaction gonna be like, what the is wrong with this guy? Am I kidding me or what?
Oh, you gotta actually have sex now on the stage.
Like, you gotta somebody with a blow up dog. Like, what are you doing? Like,
impress somebody now.
I'm gonna be real. Like, that's what, like, even when Drake did the whole flying sperm shit, I'm like, what the fuck is wrong with you, bro? Like, bro, you are going a little too far with this shit, bro. You know what I'm saying?
The creativity, you know, they're small now. They reaching. They reaching, man.
Yeah, man.
But now I receive what you said, man. I definitely
this is dope,
don't take it lightly.
Well, I got another question for you, Wiz. So now to piggyback that, right? So now that you've been a part of something so iconic, something that has fed so many families and changed the dynamics of the culture in general, like. So now, like, what's next, though? So I understand you know, you're doing the teaching and stuff, but do you have any aspirations to do anything else? Like, what does DJ Wiz kind of want to do at the next stage of his life, being that you've done so much now? It's kind of like making the hit album on the first. I remember, you know how they say your sophomore album is the worst? Because, like, Kid and Play, your first album is the classic. Now it's like, holy shit, how do I top that? So, like, what's the next stages for DJ Wiz, man? How do you know, what you got brewing up, man?
I'm really on just some give back type stuff, you know, because look, after our first whatever album, we did 4 albums. Okay, we left the industry. Okay, we're out of the game. Life was life, and everybody kind of went their separate ways. You know, I'm like DJ Wiz on the side now. I'm like a regular person. You know what I'm saying? And I get to live and just receive my flowers from whoever want to give them to me. You know, and I'm always ready to accept some flowers, whatever the case, and say thank you with gratitude. But you know, DJing, and I just want to give back to the youth, man. You know what I'm saying? So I'm really trying to form a collective of people who want to give back in different ways, not just DJing, music production. And hip hop history. I am working also with the Hip Hop Museum as well. Like,
dope.
and doing stuff with them as well.
Super dope.
I just wanna continue to share and continue to give gems. And if I can help somebody get to the next stage of wherever they want to get to whether it's the culture or just as a person, if I can give some gems to help you get to that next step, that's what I want to do. Yeah, man.
Appreciate that, man.
I'm real laid back right now. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm not out.
I want to know, is there a book coming? Is there a book coming?
Yes, there is.
Here we go.
People have already told me I have to.
Okay.
I have to do it because the story is not told. Like, especially like people know Kid and Play, but they don't really know me. You understand? Like, people know I'm their DJ, but they don't know my history.
More than a time.
Day one. So yeah, I got to do it because I definitely got my own story. I can't let somebody else tell my story. I got to tell the story. So,
that's a fact.
Absolutely.
Message.
The dope part about it is, you know, just in case you don't have anybody ready to put that book out, we know a couple people with a lot of successcul books.
That's good to know.
So, you know, we can definitely plug you in with people that we know personally that have New York Times bestsellers type shit.
But you're part of the family.
That's a fact, man. And we would love to be able to introduce you to somebody and help, set up a situation for you to even start the process if you haven't, or further the process, along more than what you've already done, man. Because I think that's needed, man. I would love to read that book. I ain't gonna lie to you, man.
Yeah.
I think that's needed for hip hop, for real.
It's in its infancy. I haven't really even started yet.
Okay.
It was brought to my attention. The first person that told me to do a book was one of my boys. He was like, "You need to do like one of them coffee table books," because I have all these pictures of people. I got pictures. Way back, you know what I'm saying? I got pictures and just on the road, whatever, just throughout my life, I got mad pictures. So I mean, that might be combined with the story,
Absolutely. I would even encourage you to do the podcast, man. You got all the connection and relationships, bro. Just to share those stories and be like, remember we was here? We was at Studio 54, we performed here, and this is what happened. Remember when Full Force knocked out something and this happened over here? You know what I mean? Like, those stories we need to hear, bro. So like you said something about like the teaching, and you said Ralph McDaniel was like coordinator hip hop in Queens and stuff like that. We would love to get connected. I would love to teach kids how to podcast, man, because this is a $20 system, a setup, right? We're using StreamYard to stream, right? And we want to show people about how to produce it, how to.
Whoa.
No, StreamYard is $20 a month.
Well, the system. Well, our plan ain't $20.
Ours isn't. But to start,
that's what I'm just saying. Like, let's not.
That's what I said. The $20 system.
Hold on. Let's not downgrade our shit.
I didn't downgrade. I said it's a $20 system. If you go up there right now, you'll see a $20 plan. We ain't got the $20 plan. You can't get that shit. Message. Get the motherfucking message with the 20. I didn't say you could.
That's a fact. This shit costs a lot more. This shit costs a lot more than $20.
You know what I'm saying? You might not get the message, but you get started, is what I'm trying to tell the people.
That's a fact, man. We would love, Wiz, we work with a lot of people, man. And like I said, impact over metrics, man. Anything that we could be involved in, especially for the children, especially giving back, bro. Please keep us in mind. We would love to, link up with you after this, man, and do something special.
I do it for the children.
We do it for the children. We do it for the children. You know what I'm saying? And listen, Wiz, since you didn't start your book, it's in the infancy stage. Mm-hmm. We got a great, more than the title, gonna give you your opening line. DJ Wiz, a Kid and Play. It's gonna be on its own page. The very first thing you're gonna say in your book is,
"Did you miss me?
Did you miss me, man? Did you miss me?"
Let them know what it is.
Let them know who it is, man. let the people know where they can find you, Wiz, man. Because there's gonna be a lot of people that's gonna reach out to you after this, man. This was dope. I love this, man. That's a fact.
This was dope. Now I appreciate you guys give me the lane. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We definitely connected. We're gonna stay connected, and I'm definitely gonna reach out to you when I'm trying to get that thing done. So
okay, sure. Let the people know where they can find you. Where's anybody trying to because we get a lot of views, man. So anybody trying to get in contact with you that might want to do a collab or something, absolutely, man. Yeah, let them know where they can find you.
I'm mostly like I don't do a whole bunch of social media. I used to be on Facebook more. I'm not really on Facebook. I do have an account. It's Mark Wiz Eastmond. My full name. Mark M-A-R-K W-I-Z Wiz Eastmond E-A-S-T-M-O-N-D. That's Facebook.
Okay.
On IG, which I am most of the time. It's the real DJ _ W-I-Z.
Yeah, it is.
The real DJ _ Wiz, y'all.
Yeah.
Make sure y'all show love, man. Follow, connect with him, tap in, man. Shows, anything that's going on, man. Make sure you tap in, man. We appreciate you, bro. We welcome you to the More Than Title family. Anybody we can introduce you to, doesn't matter who it is, but any way we can help you here, man. We just appreciate
Do we have Wiz? We got your personal number?
Yeah, I just got it today. Yep. We're gonna start the group chat.
So you know what we doing this, you know, we do this with all our guests, man. You know, we're welcoming you to the More Than the Title family. You understand what I'm saying? We've had 120 guests now. You understand what I'm saying? You're now part of the family. You're now part of our network, right? So if you see anybody in the past that has been on our show that you want to connect with, if you end up seeing future episodes with anybody that you want to connect with, that's why we create the group chat. That way it's direct access to us. It ain't no call a manager, run around, shoot us emails. Nah, just text us directly, bro. Because we're not with all that gatekeeping shit. You understand? We're not with all that bullshit. You know, we do what we say we're gonna do. So you text us directly, hey, man, I'd love to get in contact with so-and-so. We'll set the meeting up within 24, 48 hours, and then we step away. Whatever you do with the meeting after that is on you, because that, you know, we just introduce and you know, so you could develop your own relationship, man. And that's what we do, man, because that's what we have to do to continue to move this culture, the culture forward, and not just move ourselves forward economically. You feel me?
100. I'm the same way.
I loved it, man. And listen, you said you in Brooklyn, so I'm telling you ahead of time.
We outside all summer.
We outside. I'm telling you ahead of time. If you think our energy crazy now, bro,
we outside.
With y'all, come on, let's do it.
Listen, man, we definitely got to link up and do something in person, man. You know, even if you're doing something, let us know. We love to come and support, you know, our peoples, man. We always show up to venues, conferences and stuff. So if you got anything going on, man, you know, shoot us a line if we're here, you know, because we travel a lot too for this podcast thing, you know. But you know, shoot us a line, man. And if we here, man, and we can make it happen, we would love to, you know, support you in any way possible, man. And once again, thank you for allowing us, you know, the opportunity to tell your story, man, and entrusting that we're gonna tell it the right way, man. We appreciate you sincerely, for real, man.
I appreciate it, man.
What we got next? What we got coming up next? Cause what we got?
We got Lewis Williams on Thursday, man. Executive Vice President of Weber Shandwick, multi-million-dollar agency. He's done Super Bowl ads. He's an award-winning marketer. We're helped grow brands from Google, American Airlines, Coca-Cola, many more. Then we got Dr. Marcus Collins the following week on 11th, y'all. The creator of the Beehive, y'all. Creator of Cliff Paul from State Farm.
Yeah.
All those big commercials, man. He's pulling up. This is part 2 with Dr. Collins. So you have to pull back up, man. We couldn't fit it all in one episode. That's the episode. I was like, whoa. That's the episode.
I mean,
it's questionable.
I ain't gonna lie right now. I'm struggling with it.
Pause.
I'm struggling with it. It's the tone.
It was the fucking tone. It was
the tone,
God. It was the tone, God.
It was the tone,
I tried to oversell.
But yo, listen, man, ladies and gentlemen, once again, be clear. We cannot be what we are today without the support. Again, this is why we keep preaching it, without the support of our guests that come on the show and allow us to tell our stories, and 2, the fans that accept this message and keep asking for more and leaving the comments and reposting it. We truly appreciate y'all. Like my cousin said, we are growing and glowing every single week. We're hitting just new numbers on YouTube, and it's all to the support of the community, So please keep entrusting us, you know, with your faith, and understand that we're going to help move this culture forward in a positive manner. And just understand, man, we unapologetic, impact over metrics, man. It's more than the title. Who but us? Who but us?
About me, seen it all, heard it all. Oh, what you know about me?